restoring balance unto thee. Do not be afraid, you're part of saving grace. Do not hesitate, let's reignite your faith. Divine encounters along the line. Divine encounters, our life's design. I am the oracle Apollo.
Thank you for joining me, your hostess in the dark today. Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo. Today is Wednesday night. And of course, we're going to be bringing you a supernatural, inspirational story time. So glad that you guys are all here. And if you're wondering, hey, Oracle, why is it so dark in your house or in your studio? And I'm like, you know what? Because I have these glaring lights and a massive migraine. But we're here, we're doing the thing, we're showing up because that is the promise I have done for myself this year and the promise that I give to you all that we will arrive every week, bring energy and love into your homes and into your hearts and into your hands. So to your health, wealth, and prosperity, make sure you have your high quality H2O with you. Because while you are here watching Divine Encounters, this is not a passive viewing experience because it never is. You show up one way and you leave enhanced. So in order for that energy to flow through you, make sure that you are drinking water while you're watching this feed. Hey, Miss Linda, thank you so very much for being here. I have been asleep pretty much all day today. And I really wasn't sure how I was going to come on, but you know what? Here, so you guys can see me for a second. How you doing? All right. I have Mr. Robert here. I know I promised you guys Joseph this week, but he had a previous engagement. And I will bring him back on in a few more weeks, and we'll be talking about New Orleans then. But this week, we're actually going to be talking about spirit guides. And it's so very interesting because they're all around us, and sometimes we're not even aware that they're influencing us or helping us. So he is going to share his wonderful story with us today. Let's bring him on, Mr. Robert Sharp. Hey, Robert, thank you for being here.
Hey, Oracle, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Especially in such short notice. It was like, can you come on? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, oof, crisis averted.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Sharp, oh, Lord, I don't even want, that didn't even feel right calling you that. It felt like I was calling in your father or your grandfather and Robert.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly who it would be.
Yeah, it felt like that was, and I never call anyone by their last name. Oh, I feel like that might be a prelude until something else that might be coming for you later in the episode or someone. Interesting. But for now, Robert, let us know. You know, there's always surprises on this show. Let everybody know where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
Well, I currently live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I am the host and producer of an internet-based radio show called Bringing Inspiration to Earth. I've been doing that for about 12 years, also an author of several books, and a nature photographer.
Wow. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. You know what's I have no words. You know what? I'm actually going to Myrtle Beach next weekend. Swear to God. And how crazy is that?
Oh my God.
I've never been there before. And really the reason is my mom is going to meet her biological father for the very first time in her entire life. He never even knew he had a daughter. And through 23andMe, we learned about him. And we're going to go meet him next week in Myrtle Beach. So I'll be in your neck of the woods. I know.
Well, we'll definitely have to chat offline. Yeah, definitely chat offline. That is not a coincidence.
No.
That I happened on right before your trip.
Exactly. So if I'm in your neck of the woods, I'll definitely come by and say hi for sure. Hey, Miss Lori Gianetta. Thank you for
That
being
would be
here.
great.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Oh, and we have our winner here today too, who just popped in the green room. So thank you, Patty, who's our winner today. We'll bring her on the show later on, a little bit later. Robert, I like to start each episode with something called the good news. And that's basically like a message or a theme, rather, for the week. And so, everybody at home, make sure you're paying attention to this moment because there might be a message in here for you that's kind of highlighted. And then let me know in the comment section below if something in this message resonates with you in the good news. All right. So, to that, I say, what's good? All right. I hope this is not like super dark, guys, because I am so sorry if it is, but we're trying to do the thing. I promise there's a card there, and the card that is there is the awakening card. And it says, well, let's go through the keywords first, just in case the message doesn't make too much sense for you. Here's the keywords to this card awakening: awakening to your divine nature, judgment, facing the music, ascension, accepting and forgiving your beautiful soul. And interestingly enough, this morning I was on another show called Bathrobe Moments with Lauren Michaels Harris, and we talked about 2022. So go check that out if you haven't seen it here on E360, Fresh Takes channel. We talked about 2022 and how we're still in that ascension cycle. So here we go. Rising above the clouds, we find clarity in ourselves, in our pasts, in our actions. The key to this judgment, this awakening, this reckoning of the heart and memory is to be able to dish out radical self compassion and forgiveness, to see yourself as the beautiful spark of inspiration that you are. You are divine love, mystery. And when you open yourself up to this beautiful truth, you will know and see that your flaws are rooted in your humanness. Beautiful soul, bright, shiny light. Awaken in the magic you possess in your heart and see your past as the incredible lessons that it was. A history of beautiful and broken things that have brought you right here to this moment, to this place where you can hear and bear witness to your own magnificence. Where the only judgment is to be laid down is by your own honest heart, and where a forgiveness of the spirit is the remedy for your beautiful future. Okay, and the little poem for this today is: what are we but ashes, fire, water, air, laced with pure magic and dusted with prayer? Aw, that makes me a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie. I like that little poem. It's really speaking to me, and my migraine's calming down. Thank God. What do you think about this, Robert?
Well, I love that. I mean, the awakening, this time of year, as we kind of close down this one and start to ramp up for the next, is a natural time to be able to take stock and then use what we've learned to apply for a better year ahead.
I agree. And we're in that natural cycle. Um, when we start making sure that we are aligning our inner world with the natural cycles of the earth, of the planet, we learn and grow more closely to ourselves because in those natural cycles, they're happening inside of us as well. And we kind of go, that's something that happens around
Mhm.
us and not something that's happening internally as well. But the seasons are your bookmarker. Something is changing and it's time to dive in. So, going into 2022 and going into winter solstice, this is a time for self reflection, going inward, being honest with ourselves and letting those emotions flow. So I feel like this hit home for me. And of course, this ascension process, the great awakening that will be spoken of for, hundreds and hundreds of years after we're long gone from the earth. This moment in time is revolutionary because this is a mass awakening for humanity. So, yes, raise your vibration. And what I want to say is that 2022 is a year of balance, right, Robert? Like, because 2021 was about change, and we saw that with a lot of resistance, with a lot of clashing, but it's to bring us to that neutral space. And 2022 is about that balance. The 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6 in numerology, which equal give and take. So making sure that we're honoring our own light, staying in our highest vibration possible, and not succumbing to lower vibration harmonics. It's a lot going on. It is a lot. We got
Yeah,
Miss
and
Tracy in the house. Yes,
I was
sir.
going to say, and also that also, and I was going to say that the idea of gentle self judgment, self care when it comes to judgment, is going to be really important. When
I
as you're going through and doing that, because we can be our worst critics. And, we have to be kind to ourselves.
mm-hmm. We can absolutely be our worst critic for sure. And what would you say? Could you give us an example of what a gentle judgment towards ourselves would look like?
Well, the only thing I can think of is if you think about a mistake that you made in life, or something that you regret, something that you think that you would have done differently, and if you kind of find yourself beating yourself up, getting angry with yourself, all of those, that's the, the type of emotion that kind of needs tampering down. So that, I mean, yes, you may have done something differently, or you may have made a mistake, but you're aware of that. That awakening. When you said the first card was awakening. Awakening to the idea that, yeah, this happened. This is a mistake. This is what I learned, and this is why I'm better because of that. Rather than just wallowing in having done something you thought was wrong.
Right. And I like to akin this to like if someone. Do you have kids, Robert?
No,
Okay.
no,
So if some
but I've been. Yeah.
so if someone were to come around who have done something against you for some reason, like even if it was an honest mistake, and they ask for your
Right.
forgiveness, and you give it to them, right? The
Right.
next time you see them, because you forgave them, you no longer hold it against
Hmm.
them, right? But we don't do that for ourselves. We like go ahead and
That is
punish
correct.
ourselves every single time that same thought of that action comes up. So it's a continuous punishment, and it takes a toll on our energy and on our psyche and on our spirit, guys. So it's very important that once you admit you did the wrongdoing, I'm going to use air quotes, the wrongdoing, that we move forward. The same way Robert wouldn't punish his friend
Hmm.
after he's already had a talk with him, we shouldn't do that either to ourselves. Hmm. This is a great way to start today. Very deep, interesting thoughts here. So, Robert, we're going to go into the what is called the divine experience for everybody at home. This is a 1 minute energy session for everybody. So, make sure that your feet are flat on the ground,
Okay.
your palms are facing up. And Miss Patty, are you ready to come on so that you can experience this with us? If so, just turn your camera on. And I'm going to bring our winner this week, Miss Patty. She's going to come on, and I believe she's been on here before, but I could be wrong. But I believe she has. And if you want to be a winner here on Divine Encounters, all you have to do is share this feed one time, and it automatically enters you to win a personal reading. However, real quick, because I didn't plug this earlier, we have a golden ticket contest. And although this says November 20th to December 22, it's actually getting extended. Okay. We're extending the golden ticket contest by 1 week. And what this is that if you share this anywhere, you can share each episode up to 3 times. I'm going to write you in my book that you shared, and I'm going to pick 9 lucky people who are going to receive a mediumship reading from me on the first, well, that Wednesday right after Christmas, okay? And basically, a mediumship reading is I'm going to connect to your ancestors and your crossover loved ones and bring messages of hope and love and hopefully closure as well for some of you on this day. So we were going to do it 26, but now we're going to go see my mom's biological dad. So we got to push it back 1 week. Okay, we just can't skip over that. That's kind of important, guys. All right, so let's bring Patty on. Here we go. Patty, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, and who's this?
That's Aussie. What?
Aussie wants to be a part of the divine experience.
So the shadow, apparently. Oh.
All right, so we're going to first do the self-check, everybody. The self-check is basically an honest assessment of where you are at energetically in this moment from 1 to 10. 1, this is the least amount of energy I can hold. And 10, this is the most amount of energy I can hold. Let me know in the comment section below, where are you at energetically right now? Go ahead. For myself, I was at a 2 when we first started this feed. You guys just saw I turned my light on. Excuse how I look. I've been sleeping all day. And I'm at a 6 now. We've only been here 17 minutes, and now I'm at a 6. So I feel fantastic. Thank you, angels. How about you, Robert? Where are you at right now?
I'm at a peaceful 7. So
I love it. A peaceful 7. How about you, Patty?
I'm about a 7.
I'll take it. You guys are still a point above me, so I'll take it. Miss Linda, also at a 7. 7's popular today. And Miss Tracy is also at a 6. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to call in the team. And I'm going to let Robert, I have a question. So what do you want our intention to be today for this 1-minute experience? What do you think we could use more of in all of our lives?
I mean, I really hate to be peace. I mean, I think, just some nice, balanced, serene peace.
Oh, I'll take it. Okay.
That truly is
perfect. All right. So we're going to invite peace into our lives today. So let's call in the team. Palms face up, close your eyes, and let's take a breath in, center ourselves. We're going to start. Beautiful breath in. Let it out. And we're just going to invite the color pink into our body. And it's okay, just imagine it in your mind's eye and let it flow into you with the breath, bringing in peace and forgiveness and love and strength as we go into these next few weeks at the end of the year, and exhaling stress, limited beliefs. And the next inhale, just continue to breathe that pink in and just notice in your body where there's any tension that's sitting, and breathe into that tension, letting it go on the exhale. And just recognizing and being aware of your body right now, thanking your body, being open and honest with your body, and allowing anything to rise up that needs to rise up, and letting go of what no longer serves you, all with the permission and the invitation of the breath. One more breath in, beautiful pink light, cleansing, upgrading, shifting, permeating through every aspect of your body. Last exhale, cleansing breath out. And we thank the angels for guiding, directing, surrounding, and protecting us today. Namaste. And you can bring your left and your right palm to touch one another in front of your heart space. And very gently opening your eyes again, coming back to the here and the now. Woof. Okay. So for me, and then let me know in the comment section below where you are at. And if this is on a replay, just put #replay and throw your number in, because I still would love to know. For me, I am up to a 9 now, and I feel a lot of energy spinning around my head, and I feel it clearing right in my third eye. And I also feel like Angel Gabriel's with me today, kind of like with his hand on my shoulder, like supporting me. So that's what I have. Thank you. for listening. How about you, Mr. Robert?
I would have to give myself a 9. That was the first thing that popped into my head. Just very. I just felt that pink kind of go all the way through me.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Miss Patty.
I'd say I'm about an 8.
And the dogs do it a 10.
They're always at a 10.
It was like she was crying, like, why aren't you paying attention to me right now?
That was the other one. There's 5 of them here.
Oh, okay. So everybody got it today.
Yep.
All right. Now everybody's at a 10. I'm sorry. And then we have Miss Linda. She says she is feeling blissful. So thank you, Miss Linda, for participating. All right, Patty, I'm going to pop you back in the green room. You can
Okay.
have some caviar and champagne back there. But make sure that you save a little bit for me for later, okay? Because I want some.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Okay, so we are here now with the man of the hour, Mr. Robert. He's going to be sharing his great story with us. Tracy is up to an 8. Thank you, Tracy. I'm glad you went up 2 points. Well, 1 minute of energy work can do, huh, Robert? We went up that quick.
I know. And just think how many minutes you have in a day.
Yes. And just like that, it just shifted. I wasn't even sure I was going to even be able to physically make it on here. And now I'm like brand new. All right. So, Robert, we hear you have a supernatural story. So we're going to give you the stage right now. So, ladies and gents, get the popcorn, get the drink, because we're about to go into that. So delicious. And hopefully, maybe even bring you to a point where what you thought was impossible to seem like or know that it's actually possible. So let's get into the supernatural story time of the week. Okay, Robert, the floor is all yours, my friend.
All right. Well, it basically starts when it comes to my spirit guides. It starts when I was a child. I would have dreams, astral projection dreams that would take me to a daisy field, a field of yellow daisies. And it was one of those recurring dreams that I would have very often. And in the dream, it would be I would simply start walking, running, flapping the arms, and then I would just start flying. And the freedom and the feeling of flying to me was just amazing. And then I would go again to this field, and in the field there were 3 entities, I guess. Well, there was one that was close. There was a male energy, and I would find that when I interacted with him, he would give me advice on some day-to-day kind of struggles or challenges that I might be going through. And then on other times, I would go through and talk to the second character further out, and it was a female energy. And whenever I talked to her, it was about processing emotions. It basically anything that had to do with fear, anger, love. I would basically go and talk to her. And then on a rare occasion, I would end up talking to the entity that was the furthest away from me. And it was non-gender. It was a non, it really just, I couldn't say it was male or female. But that particular energy would give me such a high level view of what was going on in my life and just how it fit in the bigger picture. I mean, it was one of those that if ever I was wondering, why is this happening to me? Why am I experiencing this? I would get a calming, sometimes, not, real detailed explanation, but I would get that. So that was in my childhood. Then in the mid 90s, I went to talk to an intuitive.
Can we just
Okay.
like real quick gloss over what astral projection is, just in case people at home
Okay.
don't know what that is or they're unfamiliar?
Okay. Sure, sure. Yeah, astral projection is when you are in a state like sleep, that you basically are out of your body and you are located somewhere else doing something else. So it's the fact that you are now. I would often find that when I would have nights of work on astral, I would wake up tired. Even though I
Mm.
may have had a full 8 hours of sleep, I would just wake up tired because I was like literally working through the night in this other location.
And can anybody
So,
this happens to me. This is why I'm laughing. I'm just like, can I just rest? Can I just rest? No, but can anybody astral project, Robert?
I think yes, I believe it. I mean, I believe it's inherent in us, and and for me, and it's. I'm sure there are meditations and that kind of thing that can kind of get you prompted to do it, and it for me it just I couldn't do it on demand. I mean, it was one of those things where I would, I mean, I loved flying in my dream, and I mean, night after night, I would try to set myself up to, just start flapping those arms. But sometimes it did, and sometimes it didn't work. But that I think that's the what I think happened is that it occurred when I needed it. It was one of those things where I needed to tear away from what was happening in life, to be able to get some kind of different perspective. And what that perspective was, I mean, would change, obviously depending on the circumstances, but it was one of those cases when they got so, and it's happened since. I've had, many flying dreams since. But I don't do the field anymore, and I'll tell you why. And that's because in 1994, I went to Intuitive, who indicated that in 2012 I was going to write a book, and it was going to be published, and I
So this is the first
couldn't.
time you hear that you're
They were
going to be an
telling me,
author.
like 16 years into the future. Yes, exactly, as an author. And now, at the time, my job was being a corporate trainer. So I created manuals for restaurant industry and for the banking industry. So, I was familiar with writing, but I mean, these were, they were programs. But this was the first time it was like a book,
So did
that
you
didn't
go,
relate to
oh,
a
that
job.
I
So,
could totally see myself doing that? Or was it one of those, me, an author? What am I going to write about?
well, I mean, I thought it was interesting, that it's like, okay, and from from the mid 90s up to 2012, literally, well, 2011, I tried to write that book time and time again, and every single time it came out like a training manual. But this is not supposed to be a book.
The human
And
programming's
then
writing the
one
book.
day, now I'm a nature photographer, so exactly. That was it was not that divine inspiration. Um, and now I'm a nature photographer, so every day I spend walking in the morning in nature, taking pictures and that kind of thing. And then one day in 2011, the whole idea for my first book called Joy Potential, where you'd least expect it, the beginning of the book popped into my head, and the ending of the book popped into my head, and it was like, aha, this must be it. So from that point on, I went back to, as soon as I got back to the house, I sat down at the computer and started writing that beginning. And as it happened, I would write kind of just what came into my head during that walk. And then I would try to go beyond what was there, and nothing. And so it took, I had to walk every morning. And as I walked, I would get the download, the channel, the information of what I was going to write next. So the story truly unfolded step by step, day by day. And even on days when it rained or was too cold to go walk, I would just sit down and nothing. I had to have that nature connection, and
And the spirits from
what ended up
nature.
happening. Yes. Oh, yes, exactly. And what ended up happening is in the book, those three guides from the Daisy field are main characters. There's John, who is the one who was the closest, and he handles the reader, and it's first person, so he handles the reader's questions about day-to-day types of challenges, overcoming negativity and that kind of thing. Then there's Nora, who was the one who was the further out, and she handled all the emotions. And then the farthest one, which was non-gender, it was an overhead speaker in a work situation. So it was like word coming from on high, that was that particular one. So they ended up being characters in my book, and not even to this day, when I want to get some kind of insight, I'll ask John, Leonora, or the speaker. Exactly. And so the idea of having to do my astral projection to the field wasn't important, wasn't necessary for me to have that connection. Well, all that was necessary is I now have these names for the guides, and I can just tune into them directly. And it's like, and what was interesting too was during this process, it was unlike what a lot of authors do typically, like doing the character building, outlining the plot, indicating what's next. I didn't do any of that. It was just what I got and what I wrote. About 1/4 of the way into the book, Leonora was actually named something else. She was Maria, and about 1/4 of the way through the book, I was like, no, this just isn't working, And I ended up. My feeling is I ended up really just connecting to a different spirit guide whose energy fit better with the story.
Right, because we
And
cycle through guides just like
now
seasons cycle through.
Exactly. And I've it's not been beyond me to fire a couple, say, we're just not working right.
I have never heard
bringing somebody.
I have taught over 2,000 classes, and I've never heard someone say, I've had to fire a couple of spirit guides. I love you so much right now. That is hilarious.
Well, it was one of those things where, I'm the kind of person who went from not really being able to sense intuition to being able to, recognize when I'm getting, insight that's not my own. But for me, it was one of those that I had to ask, Kant, please tell me, I hear that you're talking to me, but I don't understand. I'm not receiving it, Try and give me a sign. And sometimes they worked, but sometimes they didn't. And in that period when they worked, I was like, listen, I need somebody who can get through to me.
Oh, I got it. So when you felt like it wasn't working out,
Yeah.
you thought it was like an operator who's not doing her job. Like, you're my operator, the switch between worlds, you're not doing your job because I need answers. And bye. Bye, girl.
Yeah.
Wow, that
really. Well, and it's, the thing is that And like you say, they come and go. Spirit guides come and go, and I've had kind of come in for certain periods for certain projects. When I'm
Right.
working with other people. And I believe that it's that's like part of the greater picture is that we were meant to be involved in this particular project. This is extended project group, for this particular time. So, and then since that time, since I was able to do that connection, it has become much easier for me to be able to, recognize that tingling on the crown chakra as being, hey, pay attention. Or well, that's probably the one I get most. And chicken skin too. That
So when you get
goosebumps
to
when that
pay
happens.
attention, do
But
you literally stop whatever you're doing wherever you're at and then you just
absolutely, I absolutely stop it right then because I first of all, what I recognize is that once I recognized information that was from spirit, that it was important for me to stop, give my attention, give my awareness, kind of register what the message is, look at my surroundings, because it's fleeting, and it's one of those times. And since I've had a history of sometimes not listening, then I always want to make sure that I let them know, hey, I got it. Thank you very much. And I usually do that gratitude. Thank you, um, because you actually got through to me. And I appreciate that.
wow.
And once that happens, once you start with the gratitude and the recognition, that's when things happen more often. And I actually think that they do happen all the time.
And you know what really
It's just
stands
that
out for
our
me?
awareness of the happening changes.
Right, exactly. And what stands out for me of what you're saying here is the amount of choice that you have. I feel like people kind of get caught up in, well, if I never learn my spirit guide's name, I will never connect with them, which is totally false because it's just like tethering a love cord from you to all of your ancestors in your whole timeline, in your whole bloodline. You're still connected, even if you didn't know the first person's name in your bloodline, right? So it's the same thing. Um, and then and the
Yeah,
choice of you're not working for me and I really want to do this. So please, I ask you to lovingly step aside and let someone else come in. And that was like a command. It was like a command that
right.
you asked for. That never that has never crossed my table. Someone
Yeah.
saying that has never crossed my table. It,
Well, how about that? How about that?
yeah. So what what
Well,
what would you say
I,
is the
I
main
think I
go
think
ahead. We have a little bit of lag.
well, I was going to say, and the thing about the thing about the kind of being more directive, saying, I really want you to step aside. I am interested in doing this. It's nothing against you. It's just that our vibrations aren't in sync enough for me to be able to get the message. And there, my belief is that there are plenty of people or plenty of spirit source resources that would be happy to step in and try and work with me. So yeah, and I think that it's good for the individual to feel in control of your life. Granted, the spirit's only guide. You make your own, actions, your own
You make your
decisions,
own
your own
choices.
choices.
Yes, you do.
But if you have, but if you have advice that you can that resonates with you, then you're more likely to make decisions that are for your highest good. And that's, I think, the ultimate is making as many decisions and choices for your highest good as possible.
Yes. That is beautiful and perfect. And Robert, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I feel like you just gave me like a fountain of knowledge today and the 20 minutes that you just talked. And I feel like if I gained that much from
Wow.
it, I'm sure everybody at home gains even that or something even more. Because it was just really, it was really well put. So
Right.
thank you so much. Robert, let everybody know where they
You're
can
very
get a
welcome.
hold of you
Thank you.
at or where they can listen to you at if they so love your soothing voice, which I definitely do. So, yeah.
I appreciate that. And you know what's funny? I've been doing this for 12 years, and I almost didn't do the radio show because I hated my own voice. I just did not like my voice. But that was another one of those cases where spirit kind of just popped in and said, "Now get out of your own way." So what? You don't have to listen to you if you don't want to, but you can help others listen to you. So anyway, um, but I have my radio show, which is bringing inspiration to Earth. It's a podcast twice a week, and at Bite Radio, BITE radio.me. I have
At
the
what time?
calendar and archives of think about the times
Oh, okay.
vary. It's on 6 different platforms. iTunes, Spotify, Audible, and all that. So, but this last year, I kind of opened it up and had it what was convenient for the guest in a certain time period. So they
Mm,
generally are in the afternoons in Eastern time, but I have a lot of international guests. So like if they're from Australia or from the UK, I modify the time earlier or later to kind of fit in with their local time.
thank you. Let's talk about this one. rpsharp.com.
Yeah, and yeah, the rpsharp.com is my photography. It was something that I enjoyed in college. Uh, Stepped away from it because of the expense for a couple decades, and then just in the last probably 10 to 15 years, have kind of just jumped in and do it. I love nature, and I get messages from nature when I'm
Nature loves
walking,
you too. That's why.
and that's fun to me. Yeah, we have a good relationship, I think.
It sounds like it. And your story, I feel like it hits home extra hard for me because this show came from one of my spirit guides telling me I didn't know how to do any of this, telling me this is what you need to go do. And I'm like, I am the least tech person ever. And within like the first 6 months of airing, Divine Encounters got a recognition for being one of the they use my show as an example show on my network. So I was just like, how am I being the example show for camera and like the tech stuff when I'm the least knowledgeable person here? And so we are going now into season 3.
Yeah.
And I'm just letting them say, okay, what do you need from me? How do we connect? And I was also told last week I will be writing a book. And I was just like, oh, you want me to do what now? Me? I can write only manuals for my students.
Okay.
What? What? That sounds like so much effort and learning, but no, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. And they gave me the beginning and the end, the
Yeah.
same way, like you said, the beginning and the end. They gave me those two, and I'm
There
like,
you go.
and
Yeah.
I saw the pages in my mind's eye, like how it had like interactive things in there, and I was like, oh, what is this? What is this? Is so cool.
Oh
So
wow.
let's see if I
Wow.
get that happening soon. I'll have to reach out. I'll
Yeah.
have to reach out to you when I get
Well,
there.
yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I'd love to chat with you about that. And yeah, and it's exciting. And what I found was, with that beginning and end aspect, is that a whole lot of the book content had to be lived. I mean, there were things that happened one day that all of a sudden let me realize I needed to really focus on, missed opportunities, for
Right.
example, and how we miss, by just shutting ourselves off, and so I'm sure with you, as once you start it, you can probably find your life will create or generate the content.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. And I'm just going to, I just was told like do like one little page a day. So I'm just going to work on it that way. 3 minutes a day, a few minutes a day.
Yep.
That's it. And that's all I'm going to commit and then let it happen naturally. So speaking of letting things happen naturally, and we
Yep.
talked about so much on our intuition today, we're going to do the Apollo games, and I'm going to bring Patty back on to play this game with us. So everybody at home, this is to build your
Okay.
intuition. We make so many decisions every single day. So how wonderful it would be when we can recognize when spirit is talking to us or when our guides are channeling through us. And this is why we develop our intuition to help us with those everyday, day-to-day things. All right, so here we go. Call the kitties, call the husband, call the wifey, or call the puppo, and let's play the Apollo game. Okay, so the question today is, who am I going to reveal? I'm going to reveal a person, and because you're looking at my screen, guys, just listen because you probably won't be able to see it because a little bar comes up and it blocks it for whatever reason. All right, so who am I going to reveal? Here's your options.
Who am I about to reveal? Elvira, Charlie Chaplin, J. Allo, Santa.
So who am I going to reveal? Just hold on, pause. Let that simmer. Let it simmer in there, okay? Because if you win, you're going to get from me, the Oracle of Apollo, a social distancing high five. And for you guys at home, go ahead and put that in the comments right now. Okay, Robert, what say thee is the answer?
Well, the one that just popped to me was Charlie Chaplin.
Okay, thank you. Is that your final answer? All right. How about you? The dog. He's like, that's the door. It's not the door. How about you, Patty? Oh, okay. There you are. What did you say, Patty? You were frozen.
I got Charlie Chaplin too.
Okay. And Miss Tracy says Charlie Chaplin. All right. So let's go ahead and see what the answer is right now. Yeah. Let me pull this right back up again. And I hope so. I'm going to warm up my palm just in case you guys are right. Let's go.
Who am I about to reveal? Elvira, Charlie Chaplin, J. Allo, Santa. Reveal time. Did you say Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah, you guys said Charlie Chaplin. High five. Good job. That's the first time everyone's gotten it right. Oh my goodness. What's happening here? This is like a spiritual miracle Christmas. Charlie went on to something huge with that slapstick humor. Charlie Chaplin lost a contest, a lookalike contest, to find a lookalike for Charlie Chaplin. Did you guys know that? He lost a contest that was looking for someone that looks like him.
I heard that recently, but I was shocked. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was shocked too. I was like, he's him. How could he look like anybody else? All right. I'm going to put you guys in the back room. Let's do the midweek collective energy check-in. Then we're going to bring Patty back with her personal reading. All right. So we're going to get into the midweek collective energy check-in where we're going to check on what you need to know, grow, and let go. Of course, you guys are going to also have the animal of the week for yourselves and a message from heaven if you so need the message. So let's go to the midweek.
There is a button. It's a very sexy button. It says subscribe on it. I wish I could click on it, but YouTube won't let me.
All right, let's see what the first card is right here. We have the 9 of Fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've already created and have courage and believe in yourself. So I feel like this is like how Robert was saying when he was like, I'm a manual writer, and Spirit was just kind of like, get out of your own. Oh no, the radio thing. I don't like my own voice. And Spirit's like, get out of your own way. You're going to do this. All right. So like, don't give up. Don't put barricades in front of you. Just allow yourself to be open here. The fire suit is about movement, so allow yourself to move, even if it's gradual, little baby steps. Okay, I haven't written this book that I have been told I would be writing forever yet. Okay, but I know I'm going to take little baby steps, and we'll move in that direction so that way things flow. It's really the momentum that builds up with the flow, because once you start allowing yourself to do things and then congratulate yourself for doing them, celebrating the little wins, that is called appreciation and gratitude. When we celebrate those things, guess what happens? You get that dopamine hit. Then your body goes, ooh, I like this because I like celebrating myself. And then you'll do more of it. And that little thing that you thought you could never do is accomplished. So don't give up on yourself. Okay. And let's see what we have. Grow. Never judge another. Okay, very important. And I feel like this is also for yourself. Don't judge yourself on how something should be done, how fast it should be done. I'm too young. I'm too old. I'm too fat. I'm too skinny. I'm not pretty enough. IQ, finances, classes, whatever. Don't judge other people, because what's happening is when you're judging them, you're actually have a deep shadow trigger inside of you, or unsolved trauma inside of you. So when we judge ourselves and we're critical on ourselves, that's when we judge other people. When we're not judging ourselves, because it starts always internally, then we're not judging outward people. So if you catch yourself out of balance, judging someone else, that's because you've been doing that to yourself. So we need to bring that back and do a check-in, okay? And I can't say it enough. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate yourself. We don't do that often enough. Bring love into the situation. Listen, I'm not just saying spewing words here. These are channeled messages for you guys. The cards are just validating what I'm already saying. Bring love into the situation is to allow yourself to have that celebration and that gratitude for doing, okay? And you might say, Oracle, but I didn't accomplish it because I didn't actually finish it, or it didn't meet my standards, okay? But allowing yourself to celebrate those moments is going to create momentum forward to then get to that point. Nothing great happens in an instant. You have to be prepared. You have to be that disciplined person inside of that vibrational frequency to attract and manifest something that is for your highest and greatest good and your highest and greatest healing. And that's never going to come through fear-based thoughts. Fear-based thoughts are criticisms and judgments. And fear and love do not reside within the same space at the same time. They cannot. So adapt to changes here with the Fox energy that have been happening. There's a lot of changes happening right now. We're going into the end of the year. You don't wait until next year to start whatever it is that you're planning on working on. You live moment to moment. So start moment to moment, do moment to moment, and be moment to moment. So the time is now. Okay. The time is now. And this is be adaptable. All right. That means be flexible. You can do it. You just got to find ways. Here's the message from your loved one crossed over. I feel happy and healthy. A lot of us are missing people this holiday, but recognize that once your loved ones have already crossed over and have left the corporeal body, the physical body, have transitioned into consciousness, soul consciousness, they no longer hold on to those traumas, sicknesses, illnesses, and things that held them back once again. So if you needed to know that they're okay, they're okay. And now we have the angel blessing, angel faith blessing the collective with beauty, and Angel Gabriel blessing the collective with synchronicity. I love it. Go into nature, go find things that are beautiful, allow that to enter your energy field, and you will notice the synchronicities. All right, let's bring on Robert once again and Miss Patty. And Robert, do you have an assessment about what we just talked about?
Well, you mean as far as those cards, the cards? Yeah. It's. I think during this particular time, you mentioned the self-care, the judgment, so as we mentioned earlier in the show about that gentle self-judgment, is that, during this time, especially, there are going to be a lot of triggers that will be showing up when you're with family or certain friends. And it's just important to, just take a moment and reflect, and then maybe look at them from a different perspective.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Okay, Miss Patty, you are the girl of the hour. So let's jump right into your reading. Everybody hit that smash that heart for Patty, who is the winner this week. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up this other camera and let's get started. Here's what you need to know, Patty. It says being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, and pretending that there is no problem. So there's something here saying, hello, I need your attention, friend. Thank you so much. And when we look at these situations, we tend to look at them with like, what if? And then we go, what if? And then we drop a coin down to the lowest part of possibilities instead of going, what if? And release it to the universe like a glorious balloon. Like, what if I succeed? What if I fly? But we jump into what if I fall? What if I fail? What if it doesn't happen? What if they don't love me back? What if? Okay. So we have to get out of this what if, because something here, two decisions being made. And usually when I see that two unicorns, to me usually means like a human being, like a person or a relationship. And then we have this release toxic relationships card that's coming up for you. So it's letting us know here that there's something here that has already outlived its usefulness in your life. You guys have already poured as much as you could into one another. And now it's time to move forward because the lessons have already been learned. And therefore, you need to release a specific toxic relationship, person, or situation in your life. And toxic just means this person makes me feel low when I'm no longer around, when I'm leaving their company. You can come in feeling fantastic and leaving low. Here it says your commitment is being tested. So this is kind of like you're trying to learn something and implement something into your life. The commitment is to you. I set my boundaries up. This person comes and knocks right through them. They don't even care. So the commitment is, do you love yourself enough to continue? Do you love yourself enough to let them go? Do you love yourself enough for change to come in? Or are you going to let fear bring you the illusion that this is the best you can ever get? Because it isn't true. And then we have here, this is why it's a test. You're in a test cycle. Retreat. Stop trying to make something happen. Stop trying to change things. Stop trying to do something, be a different person or be better or show up more or do more. Because right here it says retreat, step back, take a step back. You have to let the angels and give this to somebody greater than yourself, because you or humanity has done all it can. And here is your message from heaven is I watch over you every day from your loved ones in heaven. So they're letting you know that when you think about them, when you're doing something that connects you to them in love, they are watching over you. They're celebrating with you. And there's not any beautiful moment that actually happens in your life that they don't witness, Patty. And then here we go. Your angel blessings are faith blessing you with freedom, faith and the freedom it brings, and self-discovery. See, here we go about your commitment being tested, self-discovery. You're learning about you and how to be the best version of you, and you are freeing yourself from things that no longer serve you. And I hope that this serves you.
Yes, it does.
Do you feel like this resonates with you, Patty?
Yes, it does.
I know that. Yes, it does. That's the yes, it does. And I have 1,000 things to say about this, but we got it. We're on the timeline. Patty,
Yep.
I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing again. And of course, you're going to be entered into win the golden ticket if you so need it. And I really honor you. Robert, is there anything you wanted? Thank you. Is there anything you want to drop off for the kids here at school before we head out?
Well, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been fun, and we need light-hearted, insightful fun. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you everybody at home for watching this week's Divine Encounters episode. I hope that you came in feeling however you were feeling and leaving as magnificent as I'm feeling after an entire day of a massive migraine, remembering that this episode, each and every episode, is filled with love and energy to help you shift and create your own divine experiences in the world. Take these angel blessings and go forward. And may you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Ciao.
Night.